Okay, let's talk about identity politics. Identity politics has become huge um, in the last little while. And identity politics is essentially the idea that if you fit into a certain religious or ethnic or racial group or gender group or sexual orientation group, that you belong to a political party. And if you don't, you're typically shunned by other people of your group. Diamond and Silk are a really good example of this. Diamond and Silk are two wonderful black ladies. They're funny, they're smart, and they have a lot going for them. They put videos on the internet. They're pro-Trump. But they don't fit with the identity politics of black women. The identity politics of black women is to vote Democrat. The identity politics of black people in general is to vote Democrat. And they have gotten a lot of hate from the black community for not fitting in with those identity politics. I get a lot of hate sometimes because I'm a conservative, but I'm not religious. I don't go to church. I don't really have a religious affiliation. And so a lot of times I get hate for that. Oh, well, you're an atheist? Well, aren't you, you're such a liberal. No, I'm not a liberal. I just don't fit in with that one particular category of being conservative. Does that make me a bad person? No. Does it make Diamond and Silk bad people? No. Okay? White men get lumped in as all being conservative. Okay, there's a lot of white men out there that are not conservative. Go to San Francisco or go to Portland or go to Seattle and watch some of those guys walk around and you're going to be like, yeah, I don't know, but they're not conservative and I can tell just by looking at them. Okay, go to an area that has a lot of liberal people. White men are not always conservative. They're not rednecks just because they're white. They're not, those are stereotypes that don't really fit in with anybody. I mean, I'm from the South and I'm not really redneck. I mean, maybe somebody would think that about me, but I never grew up poor. I didn't grow up in the woods somewhere. Oh, well, okay, maybe I did, but that was in Ohio, which is not the South, which means technically I'm not a redneck, I guess. But a lot of the ideas that correspond with being a redneck get passed off on all white people. It doesn't matter where you're from. You could be from inner city Chicago, never been south of Chicago, and someone sees you and maybe you decide, you want to be conservative. And Chicago is a real liberal area. And someone calls you a redneck. You're like, what's a redneck? I don't have one of them. Okay, identity politics is detrimental to our society. It teaches children at a young age that you have to fit in with this group, or this group. And if you don't, you're in the wrong group. And we spend so much time telling kids that they don't have to fit with labels. Don't put labels on it. You just be you and you be unique, and that makes you beautiful. Until it comes to politics, and then we're going to put you in buckets. And if you don't fit in the bucket, then you're going to be shunned by society for not fitting in the bucket. And it's so hard, and we wonder why kids have no interest in politics. And if you ask the average high school student, to have a political debate with you, they just roll their eyes. They don't want to talk about it because it's complicated and no one's actually taken the time to explain it to them. And it's all because of identity politics. And we still do this, okay? Proof of this. We as a society, not we as we as a society typically like to throw it out there at liberals when they start telling conservatives that, we're doing something wrong. Well, the Republican Party freed the slaves. Yeah, they did, but they were liberals back then. So identity politics doesn't always apply. It doesn't even always apply from year to year, from election year to election year. Okay? The last time that Obama was running, gay marriage was a big, big, big issue. Should we do this? And the Republicans were like, no. Well, it's already a thing now. Nobody really cares about that. Nobody really cares if gay marriage is an issue because that part of the identity politics has already, that ship has sailed. And Trump already said he doesn't care about gay marriage. He has no intention of overturning it, of making it more difficult for them. He's all for it. And so anybody that was, anti-gay but pro-Trump had to make a decision. Do I jump off the bandwagon or do I pretend like I'm on the bandwagon? And most of them are just pretending at this point, or maybe have had a change of heart. But identity politics hurts in more ways than just that. It's very difficult to not be a sheep in our society. If you are a woman right now and you are not pro-feminist and wanting to wear a little vagina hat on your head, other feminists will shun you for it. I can't tell you how many times online I have made a comment on Women's March or Third Wave Feminism's Facebook page. I actually got blocked from them because I called them out and reported it when someone did this to me. Because it was them, it was their page that said this to me. And I said, I'm not really sure what rights we're promoting that we don't have. Oh, all these rights, that men have rights for this and this and this. I said, yeah, but so do we. I said, can you point out in the Constitution where it says that that we don't have these rights? And somebody, I don't know whoever runs that page or whoever was running that page at the time, it happened on Women's March and it happened on Third Wave Feminism, which ended up blocking me because of this event, told me that I deserve to be raped for not agreeing with their position. And that's what identity politics does, is it turns people into hateful human beings. People who are incapable of seeing that other people can have a different point of view. Now, I think that what those groups are doing, marching around in vagina hats, out on the street, dressed up in costumes, I think that's absolute idiocy. But do your thing, man, I guess, if it makes you feel better. I'm still going to laugh at you, though. And I'm not going to take you seriously, but you go ahead and do it. I'm not going to tell you shouldn't. The groups that tend to say that they are the most welcoming and the most tolerant are the most intolerant, because if you even for a second question something they stand for, they will wish upon you rape and suffering. Both groups did that. I only got banned from one. I got banned. Not the person who said that to me. I got banned because I called them out on it. That's identity politics. Women are supposed to be feminists. Black people are supposed to be Democrats. Men are supposed to be Republicans. White men specifically. If you are Hispanic, you're supposed to be a liberal, a Democrat, so you can vote for illegal immigrants because you might not be illegal, but you probably are, what they think, or you probably know someone who is. Because if that's not the most racist bullshit I've ever heard, I don't know what is. It's racist to say, I don't want illegal immigrants coming here, but it's not racist to tell a Hispanic person they should vote Democrat because they're either illegal, someone in their family is illegal, or they know someone who's illegal. Okay. So anyway, to solve the problem of identity politics, be you. Don't worry about fitting into one of the buckets. On election day, you go to the poll and you vote for who you want. And if it's not one of the two major party candidates, guess what? That's okay. It doesn't have to be. You do not have to vote for Trump because you don't want Hillary elected. You don't have to vote for Hillary because you don't want Trump to be elected. There are always other people running. And yeah, they're not going to win. But at least you know in your heart that you did what was right for you. And that you took advantage of the liberties that you have to vote for who you want to vote for. And to not be coerced to voting for someone you don't believe in. And that's the important thing. Don't listen to identity politics. You support whoever you want to support. You support whatever issue you want to support. You can claim to be the biggest Republican ever and then still be pro-choice. You do it. You don't have to. This isn't a, all or nothing type thing. This is what you believe and what you think. So think for yourself and don't follow in the lines of the sheep that are led around by identity politics. And you will be a happier person when you realize you don't have to worry about how you're affiliated. Because you can be affiliated with whoever you want. And you can think however you want. Have a great evening.